And this afternoon, more labour unions are joining the fray in demand for a 20% cost of living allowance. The leadership of the National Association of Registered Midwives Ghana says, given the difficult times in which we find ourselves, there will be a need for government to pay up COLA. On the probe last night, a number of labour unions expressed concerns on how difficult it was for public sector workers to try and make up for the rising cost of living. First of all, let's start from the Public Sector's Workers Union. Bernard J is the General Secretary of that group.
Fortunately, this has been long in coming, and the reaction from the authorities have not been swift, unfortunately, and our members would have to now take decisions before firefighting approach comes. It's rather unfortunate. None of us wants us to get to this point, but I believe since we started calling for this, and at the May Day that also came up, followed by a letter, our colleagues, the teacher unions, then followed it up with an ultimatum. Nothing was done until the strike began. It's rather unfortunate, too little, too late. But we believe that we can always put ourselves together and honor the demands of workers, because things keep getting worse by the day, and the cost of living, as you said in your preamble, keep getting worse by the day. And how long can workers survive this? All we are asking simply, as the TUC has written, is that, look, cushion workers. Things are hard. Cushion workers. Otherwise, we don't know how we're going to survive. So we still have that joy. All workers have the joy in serving their country, but we need to take care of our cost of living so that we can do that.
And so these are some of the concerns of the Public Sector's Workers Union. In spite of an appeal from President Akufo-Addo for the striking teachers to return to the classrooms, it appears that that call will not be heeded. Gender Desk Coordinator of NAGRAT, Rebecca Okran Abedu, explained to us.
Still on strike. We have not called off the strike. We are happy that we've been invited for a discussion on Tuesday. We are hopeful that we'll have something tangible to send to our rank and file so that we can call off the strike. We have not called off the strike. We are still on strike. We just didn't arrive at this position. You know, we went through a lot of discussions from the leadership. You know, leadership of unions start from the grassroots. So we have to go back to the same grassroots leadership before we can call it off. So we have heard His Excellency, but we need to consult our rank and file. The issue about examinations, it's not only this time. We've been writing examination anytime, any point in time. We have one examination or the other. We have made our demands clear that we expect a cushioning of about 20%. You know, inflation figures, as the official ones, are giving us 28%. For me, the way I feel in my pocket is more than 28%. When you take the food items especially, MFA, we are women, and you know it's more than 28%. When you go to the market, the change in prices is more than 28%. So we expect a minimum of 20%. That's our demand, and we are hopeful that government will listen to our cry and then do the needful so that we can help the kids prepare for the examination. With an appeal, that's a non-starter. That's a non-starter because remember, as my colleagues rightly said, we started drumming about this long time ago, since February. We've written letters. On May Day, the Secretary General of TUC spoke about it. And even afterwards, we have made attempts. We've shown a lot of goodwill over the period. And the sacrifices we have made to push government's agenda in the educational sector, I think we deserve this 20%. It's the least that we can demand for.
And this afternoon, more labour unions are continuing to join that fray in order to prevent what they describe as a possible industrial action. The leadership of the National Association of Registered Midwives is urging the government of Ghana to pay up the COLA to all employees in the public sector immediately. So let's bring you a breakdown of some of the concerns they're raising. There you have it on your screens. First of all, in indicating that the leadership of the National Association of Registered Midwives Ghana brings warm greeting to all midwives, and then continues to say that the cost of living in Ghana has been high, particularly this year, 2022, due to economic crisis. The leadership of the Registered Midwives Ghana seeks to add their voice to the ongoing concern on the various unions, advocating for an immediate implementation of at least 20% cost of living allowances for public sector health service workers, which actually includes midwives, in order to make workers feel at ease in this difficult time. Then they continue to say that the registered nurses, GH, which has the best interest of all midwives at heart, especially their welfare, implores its members to remain calm and have faith in the leadership, who's making a lot of effort to engage the Trade Union Congress, TUC, and then the government to improve the standard of living. Now, in order to prevent an industrial strike, and that's the more instructive point there, the group is asking or urging the government of Ghana to pay the COLA to all employees in the public sector immediately. So why this demand at this time, particularly as we know that the IMF deal is in the offing? Mary Ofosu is national president of the Association of Registered Midwives, joins us now via Zoom. Mary, thank you so much for your time. So it appears that you're joining other labor unions that have already served notice, some already on strike over the cost of living allowances. Some say, given the difficult times in which we find ourselves, including what government is intending to do about the economy, which is an IMF bailout, it will not be possible for the government to pay up COLA. So what will you do about that?
Well, I don't think it's impossible. Everything is possible. Everything is possible under this earth. So to me, I don't think it's impossible. That is why we are all bringing our issues on board, also supporting other unions, because we are all workers in Ghana, and we all know the hardship that we are going through now. So we are also adding our voice, and together we know we can move forward. And I think, to me, nothing is impossible, as I said earlier on. So government should listen to us.
Even before we proceed and get a clear understanding of what exactly, in terms of peculiarity, what your concerns are, give us a sense of the membership of your group. How many members are we dealing with at this point?
We are dealing with close to 10,000.
So you have about 10,000 registered members.
Yes.
Okay. So
but midwives in Ghana are more than 10,000. But
okay.
I'm talking about those who are under our umbrella.
So that's 10,000. And then you're giving us an impression that you're also engaging the Trades Union Congress, which is the mother body for all labor unions, to try and get the COLA paid up. Else, we're not too clear on what you intend to do. So give us a sense of what you're likely to do if the worst happens.
Yeah, we are part of TUC, and TUC has about 22 affiliates. That is why we don't want to come out as a union alone, because we have a mother who speaks on our behalf. And as you know already, they have engaged the government even during the Workers' Day, which is the May Day, during the address that the TUC Secretary General read. We all saw, or we heard about what he said about the cost of living in Ghana, and that is where we started the proposal from. So now we know that once we are part of TUC, TUC will be able to negotiate on our behalf, and if worse happened, then we'll also advise ourselves.
How hard has it been trying to make up for the increase in general goods and services in terms of prices for your members? I understand that we're all in difficult times, but then in terms of midwives in Ghana, in terms of the delivery of your services, how much of a challenge has it been trying to deliver your services to the utmost best in these trying times?
Yeah, for the challenges, we know that apart from us being individuals going to the market, and we know how the market is like now, when you come to the workplace, our setup, we always advocate for things that we can't work with. When you come to the workplace, midwives, we deal with human fluids, blood, and other issues. So we need to get things that we can work with. But if the economy is very hard, like we are in now, the situation that all of us know that we can't even go to the market. That is what is happening at the system that we are also dealing with. You go to some hospital facilities, you not even get a glass to work with. As I said earlier on, we are dealing with human bodies, human fluids. So if you can't get gloves to work with, how are you going to attend to your client who will come to you? So the difficulties is always everywhere.
And Mary, at this time, I'm just reminded to, of course, bring that to your attention, the call from the president asking all labor unions to try as much as possible to make some adjustments and sacrifices. So, of course, the president talks about a slash in his own salary by some 30%. What is your group willing to negotiate on? Is it the full payment of the 20%, or you're open to the idea of having something below that?
No, we are not going below that, because last year we accepted the 4%, this year 7%. We didn't complain. So now the government should also complain. You should also listen to us. We are not dealing with anything below 20%.
Let's talk about the engagement we're expecting tomorrow. We understand that the Employment and Labour Relations Ministry will be engaging TUC and other members of the forum, which you have created as organized labour to negotiate on your behalf. I'm not too sure if you're going to be in that meeting, but what's the expectation of the leadership, the delegation that will be advancing that COLA cause on your behalf?
Yeah, we will not be there, as I said earlier on. TUC will be there on our behalf. So we are praying that when they go, the 20% will be accepted for us.
Anyway, and your message to the president?
Yeah, yeah, he being our father, and he knows the hardship that we are in now. He should listen to us, his children, so that we can also deliver our best for the mother Ghana.
Anyway, hard times, I can imagine. But let's see what then happens tomorrow. Mary Ofosu is national president of the Association of Registered Midwives. I'm grateful for your time. Let's talk.